do to you. The point of the goal is to refine your character so when you get there, you stay there. And anyone who's overcome an addiction knows the power of this. Because it's one thing to get free, it's another to stay free. It's one thing to make $1 million, it's another to keep $1 million. It's one thing to get married. How many of you know hallelujah? It's another to stay married. It's one thing to have a baby, it's another to actually raise a human and bring them into the planet. So the idea here is sometimes we get so short-sighted in that we just, well, when I get there, then I'll be successful, then I'll be fulfilled, then I'll have, then. And then we can even get there and miss the fulfillment of it and not be able to hold it. Why? Because I didn't understand that the blessing comes with responsibility. So actually it's about my character along the way and who it's creating me to be so that when I get there, I will actually stay there. This is the point of having a dream, vision, goal, right? Which is really timely in today's market because now if I go back and I look at my main goal, close 5 deals, make $200,000, buy 2 investment properties. The whole idea here is not just about a skill set, which we all need. Don't get me wrong, you guys just got started in real estate. How many of you have been in real estate longer than 5 years? How many of you know that there is a lot of skill that these two need to learn? All of the skills. Right? Like you're going to need to know your scripts. You're going to need to know what you say, what you don't say. You're going to need to know percentage and interest rates and numbers. And you're going to need to know the area. There's a lot of skill in that. True or true? But how many of you also know that have been in business longer than 5 years that it takes more than skill set to be successful at this business? It actually has way more to do with my mindset, my belief set, my give a damn around why I'm in the business and what's going to keep me in the business to get through good days and bad days. That's the trick, is actually defining why I'm actually doing this. This is called your burn. So let me give you an example, because I think it paints a real good picture around conviction and burn. So I have a first world problem, but it's my problem, and I don't actually gain a lot of muscle. I'm skinny, but I have a hard time building muscle. You have that problem too? Thank you, I'm not alone in this. Okay, so that's been my problem my whole entire life. So when my husband and I decided to sell everything when we lived here and travel the country in an RV, which was tricky enough with 3 kids under the age of 5, which most people told us all the time, they're like, that's the best time to be doing it. You're like, said nobody who's actually done it. So you just take that and we're gonna say, you've obviously not done it. So I am now traveling the country. I don't know where we're going. We're only going places 2 to 3 days and we're up and going and all the things. So safety, security, stability is like flaring at an all-time level. I also realize I have control issues. I'm sure I'm the only one. But like I have those like routine, control, like my box of understanding, that was like shook to its core. I'm trying to raise 3 kids, not let them fall out of my RV every time that we park. And I decide I'm actually gonna figure out how to be stronger. Okay, so I decide to do what most people probably don't do, but I don't want any input. Like, I don't really want my husband to tell me what to do, though he's like smoking hot and looks like he looks at a mirror and is stronger. I don't want his input. I actually don't think Google is relevant any longer, and anyone else who's done it probably doesn't have my body type, so I'm just gonna do more of what I've always done. How many of you know that doesn't get you different results? It makes you insane. So if I'm running harder, faster. If I'm doing squats, I'm doing more of them quicker. If I'm doing push-ups, I actually don't do those. I don't like them. I won't do them. I think they're stupid who ever invented them. Do you agree? Totally agree. This does not make sense. Physically, my body does not know how to do that. Okay. So, but the point of this is after 3 months, I'm burnt out, physically exhausted, and I'm not seeing any results. So I go into the RV one day, and I remember actually where I'm standing, and I'm venting. Who's married? How many of my women in the room know that when you're venting, it actually means I don't want feedback? Husbands, write that down. Like I just changed your marriage. I just changed your marriage with that. I don't want feedback is what that implies, okay? So don't even ask me first. When I'm venting, I don't even want to be asked if I want feedback. My husband and I actually have that rule with each other. When we're done, he'll say, do you want feedback? And I'm always like, no, nope, no, I don't want your feedback. So he listens to me graciously. And I'm going on and on like we all do. And I'm saying, this doesn't work. This is impossible. I'm the first human who will never be able to do this. Google, I broke the code of Google. No physical trainer knows what they're talking about. Has anyone ever been there? There's not enough real estate gurus in the world that could help me with my business in my circumstance. There's not enough people who understand that I'm raising babies and I can't do it all. They don't understand my market. They don't understand my street. They don't understand my upbringing. They don't know I have daddy issues, all the things. They don't get it. Who's been there? Anyone else ever been there? So thank you for being honest. All of those things. So I'm saying all of them. And I want to be right. This is the number one flaw we have as humans. We want to be right, even about the wrong things. It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy or self-sabotage efforts. Here's what I learned. You can be right, or you can be free. You don't get to be both. So in this moment, I wanted to be right. I did not want to be free. So my husband, finally, there's this long pause, and he doesn't look up from the table. He just says to me, "Are you lifting till failure?" I did that to him too. I turned. Do you see? You know what I'm doing? Everything in me wanted to be like, "Are you for real? Am I lifting till failure? No, people do that. No, I'm not lifting till failure. That sounds horrible. I'm lifting till I don't like it. I'm lifting till I'm sweating. I'm lifting till I'm uncomfortable. Lifting till failure? Dear Lord, who invented that and why would you do that?" And he looks at me like, "Oh, honey bunny, you have so many problems." I'm going to ask you the same thing. Are you lifting till failure? When you consider your goals, when you consider the rub, when you consider the place of tension, when you consider the resistance, when you consider the market changing, have you ever wondered, is the pressure a privilege? Because I'd like to propose to you that it is. If I'm actually working out, think about it. When I go to lift weights, the only way that I will build strength is by what? Failure, resistance, pressure, a lot of it, come to find out, to the point that I feel like I might break. But here's what I'd like to tell you today. Your obstacles, Chrissy, aren't designed to break you. They're designed to make you. They're not here to tell you of all the things that you can't do and could do and should do. They're actually here asking you, what do you really believe? And in those moments, they're not easy. I'm not suggesting that they are. But remember, I told you that that comfort is the enemy of progress. And so that when things change, they're the best thing for us, because I'd like to propose what it's doing, what the world is asking, what God, the universe is asking you is, what do you believe? Do you believe that that world is possible? Do you believe that you can have this? Do you believe it? Most of us go, whoop, oh, I don't like that pressure. I must be doing something wrong. You know what? I'm going to change up my strategy. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go to a different Keller Wiliams office. I'm going to actually just change brokerages. Keller Williams doesn't know what they're doing. We see this in real estate all the time. I'm going to go where the grass seems to be greener. No, you're going to go where you think it's easier. Here's the truth. This is simple, stupid, hard. Hashtag, it's one of my favorites. Simple, stupid, hard. Pressure is a privilege. So this year, I would like to propose that when you have a goal, that when the pressure kicks in, and this is even, remember halfway through 2020 when all of a sudden we started printing money in this game? You guys, I work with people who literally thought that the world was ending in March, and by December they were like, yeah, oh my gosh, they were printing money. Even that, they were running so hard that there was pressure to keep up, pressure to build better processes, pressure to probably have done all the things that they should have been doing the year prior, pressure, pressure, pressure. So it's not that you can ever escape the pressure. Having more money doesn't actually make it better. It just amplifies what already is, right? But the idea here is that when this market starts to shift and change, the pressure is actually revealing to you the belief that you hold truest the most. It actually starts to refine what you want most. But we don't even know that it's happening, because we weren't anchored into some of these concepts that I'm teaching. Some of us even today had vision, right? Keller Wiliams is one of the best in the industry to teach on a lot of these principles. And what I found even teaching a lot of these principles is that we can have a vision, but it doesn't have us. It sounds good on the wall. But it actually doesn't keep me going all day long. Why? Because I haven't attached my give a damn to it. It sounds good. But I forgot that it's supposed to make me be good. So if we're from this mindset of going, okay, wait a minute, pressure is a privilege, this isn't designed to break me, it's designed to make me, then what do I believe here? Do I believe that closing 5 deals is possible? Do I believe that I could buy 2 investment properties this year? We could go in one path that goes, well, but not in this year. I'm sure nobody in the whole world is no one's buying any investment properties. Do you think that's true? It's not. We could also go the lane of, yeah, but you don't understand my circumstances and my things, and nobody else is buying 5 deals a year. Do you think that's true? It's true to the person who believes it to be true. This is where it's dangerous. It's true to the person that believes that it's true. Let me give you another example. Cammie, my wonderful director of operations today, she's from Tillamook, Oregon, and it rains there all the time. It smells like cows, and she doesn't know, you guys. She legitimately doesn't know it smells like cows and rains all day long. We get here. I'm in Bend, Oregon, which happens to be sunnier, but we have winters, which suck. After you live in Arizona, you're like, why do people do this? This is really stupid. So I'm like, I told David, I'm coming for the sun. I'm not coming for you and your team. Let's be really honest. Okay? I told my husband I'm going for work. I'm not. I'm going to get away for the sun. And my 5 children. Actually, I brought one. She's adorable. Okay, so we get out this morning, and Cammie's like, oh, this is a beautiful day. I was like, this sucks. Same day, same weather, same everything. 2 totally different beliefs around the same experience. Why? Because my interpretation, my belief is very different. To Cammie, it's beautiful. To me, I'm like, this is stupid. Tell David I'm not here. I'm going somewhere sunny. Why? It's just simple interpretation of the same day. That will be the case this year. We will all stand here in a year, and there will be 2 cases of this year's market. People who said, see, I told you it's not possible. See, I told you we're in a recession. See, I told you. See, I told you, see, I told you, see, I told you. Now, here's what I will not undermine. Believe me when I say there is reality in the midst of huge changing economic crazy. We don't have enough time. This is why I asked him for 4 hours. Do you see why I'm saying this? Because I'm like dropping bombs. You guys are like, oh my gosh, watch out for the bombs. I'm not suggesting that there isn't a lot. However, there's huge behemoths that have been created in the midst of recessions. So there will be one path of people who wake up in a year in the real estate market and they will no longer be in business. And it would have been the exact same market, same numbers, same statistics, same everything, that you will then also see a group of people who go, that was incredible. Why? Because I decided where I was going, and I learned to make decisions today like my life depended on it tomorrow. And I didn't stop. It's the only difference. These people will start, and they won't stop. It's the only difference. These are the 2 hardest days. They will be the day that you start. It's the day that you decide what this is. And I'm going to give you these prompts here in just a couple of minutes because I do want you to have something to land with. And I'm actually going to make sure that I make myself available during lunch. So if you want to come and ask big questions with me, I will do this with you. Right? But the idea here is that I'm going to go, if this is what I really want this year, then now the goal is actually to learn not just another skill set or behavior set, right? Because you could Google those. How to make more money in any market. Google that. We could actually Google how to do anything. How to lose 30 pounds, how to make $1 million, how to do incredibly well in any real estate market. And guess what we would find? Pages and pages and pages of answers. And yet, statistically speaking, we are more depressed than ever as people. We are heavier than we've ever been as people. Right? Like, so then the results and the Google doesn't really compute. Why? Because of this gap called conviction. Burn. I care enough to work through the hard to make sure that I'm picking the right kind of hard. So this is the mindset you're going to have to adopt. Write this down. Pick your hard. There's actually a chapter in my book. It's called Pick Your Hard. Here's what I mean when I say pick your hard. Being single is hard. Being married is hard. Having 1 kid is hard. Turns out 5 is harder. I just want you to know it's harder. Being your own boss is hard. Working for someone else is hard. Running a business in 2020 is hard. Running the business in 2023 will be hard. It's all hard at some level. Being fit is hard, being fat is hard. Having no money is hard, having a lot of money is hard. It's all hard. The idea here is we need to pick the right kind of hard. We need to pick the right kind of hard based upon where we're going. Meaning when those moments of hard then happen, we go, oh wait, this is the hard I choose. And we need to re-engage. Don't let it be the moment that we tap out. Don't let it be the moment that we go, oh, I'm doing something wrong. What if you're actually doing something right and all it's asking you in that moment is to hold? Hold. It's like being in a plank. Does anyone have a personal trainer that's like, hold? You're like, no, you hold. You hold. What we're training ourselves to do actually is to find the fire within ourselves. And this is so important because we actually live in an economy that spends $9 to $11 billion a year on coaching and motivational, inspirational something. What does that mean? It actually means that I'm outsourcing my greatest place of power. I actually am hiring you to tell me something that I could find for myself if I would hold and give myself 20. Which means that now I need an accountability partner to be successful. No, you don't. You need to find the fire within you to want it more than the accountability person, because when they're not there, guess who will still show up? You. Now, I'm not suggesting that coaches aren't important, right? I've been one for the last 10 years. But I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to actually hold up a mirror to remind you of who you are and the burn that's on the inside of you. Because if you find that, then you can do it for you. Yes, find someone to go, hey, am I doing this the right way? Like if I'm doing a push-up, if I'm going to go back to that damn push-up, honey, what's your name? You're going to do a push-up one day, and you're going to let me know, right? But if I'm doing a push-up and I'm like, this thing's going to suck, I need to probably just look up and go, is my form right? Yes. Okay, because it feels wrong. No, your form is right. Great, use coaches for that. Is my form right? Is my scripting sound right? Do my numbers seem like my numbers will get me to where I want to be? Like, great, have outside eyes affirm that your mode of operandi is going to ultimately get you to where you want to be, but do not outsource the place of accountability on somebody else. God put that on the inside of you to sustain you for the path that you're walking, not them. So the idea here, did you say amen? Yes, good. I needed one. I was just kidding. I just needed one amen. Amen. Right? So what this means is that now I'm actually taking some responsibility that there is a fire on the inside of me, and now it has to be my job to find it and to not let it burn out. That's your number one job as a real estate agent this year, in my opinion. Find your fire and then protect it. Find your give a damn and then do not let it go. And so when the market changes and when buyers do this and sellers do that and interest rates go this way or go that way, or any statistic that David gets up here and gives you, that you go, ooh, where's my burn? What do I want most? Why do I want it most? Because now I'm going to drop and give me 20. Why? Because I care. I don't care. When you know, here's how you know that you're actually in your place to give a damn. You don't care what anybody else thinks. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this a lot. Anyone a Gary fan? Love him. He's hysterical. He says one in a motivational keynote one day, he's going, and he really is this kind of guy. He's this little pompous, doesn't care what other people think, but he's like, I don't give a fuck what people think. And everyone's like, yeah, we love you, Gary. And he goes, I don't care. And everybody kind of laughs, and he pauses, and he goes, I need you to hear me. I don't do it for the haters. I don't do it for the lovers. I do it for the love of the game. That's what we need you all saying. I don't do it because of comparison. I don't do it based upon last year's numbers. I don't do it to get my face on that wall out there. I do it because it's who I am, and I can't not do it. Some of you go, I don't know if I'm in the right industry. Then do yourself a favor. Get out. It's the best thing you could ever do. Don't fake it. It won't work. Because here's also what I found. Success without fulfillment, this is Tony Robbins says this, success without fulfillment is the greatest failure. If you're faking your way to success, you might get there. Believe me, I work with some of the top real estate people in the country who work with me and are not fulfilled. That's a hard day, right? The idea here is that you go, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm using real estate, my business, to ensure that it is now giving me what any business is supposed to give me, time, money, and significance, right? And I actually have found my commitment to the thing that matters most to me. So when hard days come, I actually say thank you. Why? Because the pressure's a privilege. I actually don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as a place of honor. Why? Because the universe, God, is actually leaning in going, you can do this. It'd be like a really good trainer looking at you going, I know that it burns, but believe me, do one more and you're going to get the results you want. Yeah, but I don't see it. It's cheap. Yeah, but the person next to me is doing better. I don't care what the person next to you is doing. Yeah, but you don't understand my past. I can't lower my standard to fit the narrative of my past. I have to raise my standard to fit the conviction of my truth. Do you hear me? We're lowering our standards to accommodate for narratives around us that aren't serving us, and we need to raise our standard of conviction to fit truth. You need to be the bar this year. This is what I would suggest for you as a company. Be the bar. Don't worry about last year. Worry about you all doing the best that you can possibly do because of the burn that's on the inside of you, not because of what the world tells you you should be doing. This will make you unstoppable. Here's what we're looking for is also sustainability. All of us know that we could sprint to the end of this year, just like we did in 2020 and 2021. I'm working with agents right now that are so exhausted and burnt out because they didn't follow any of their own rules, values, standards, vision, mission, conviction, any of it, and they just sprinted the last 2 years. Did they make money? A lot of it. But are they burnt out? Absolutely. Hashtag me too. That makes us human, right? It gives us some information. But the idea here is we also want you to create sustainable results. We don't want you to break at the sake of the mission. Something that my mentor told me a couple months ago that I was like, what did you say? I don't want you to break just for the sake of your mission. We want this to be sustainable. So in closing, and then I'm going to give you an invitation to actually lean in. If you're like, no, I want more. I'm actually going to give you an invitation to do that. But in closing, I'm going to give you these 3 really loaded questions that ultimately have changed my life and continue to change my life. Right? Like all of the really simple coffee mugs that we buy that say like, joy is in the journey. It's true. Right? Like we're never really there, that life is about a destination, also true. Right? So what I'm giving you as questions are one that even in my life right now, having hit a lot of my goals, obtained a lot of my dreams, holding the weight of the blessing of all the things that I wanted, I continue to ask myself these questions. They're going to be weighty. I'll talk with you about lunch. I'll invite you to actually engage to learn more about how to answer some of these questions. But here's your first question. What is the one goal that you cannot live without this year? For some of you, you might literally erase the one that you wrote down, like put a big X through that because you're like, it sounded good. I don't want to actually do that. What is the one goal that you, in big letters, can't not live without? I can't not have. Remember, this is not designed to make you feel good. This is designed to make you be good. A couple clarifying questions to this will also be, put yours down. Right? Like I'll give you an example that sounds silly, but it was like life-altering. One of my goals that I could not have was to have a farm. Said anyone who's never had a farm. A farm. Has anyone lived on a farm? People still do that. Do you still do that? There's a reason why. I'm about to save you guys a lot of time and money. After traveling the country in an RV, my husband and I decided that we were going to go back to the major cities that we loved, and we were going to spend extensive time there. It was Bend, Oregon, Phoenix, Arizona, Austin, Texas, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Sarasota, Florida. We went to all of those, and we spent about 6 to 8 weeks in all of those places with our family to decide where do we want to hunker down. We really wanted this farm. That was one of our goals. That was the last on a 10-year list of things that we wanted. So it was between Bend, Oregon, and Sarasota, Florida, as we had identified it. And my husband found a farm in Sarasota, Florida. You guys, here, do not buy a farm in Sarasota, Florida. Ask me how I know. I did that. We did that. We bought a fixer-upper in May in Florida. Who's ever been to Florida in May? Don't. We did that. We also bought 18 chickens, 3 cows, 3 goats, all at the same time. I didn't have a bed, y'all. I was actually washing my dishes in the bathtub, and I was feeding 18 chickens and 3 cows and goats. 4 details. 4 kids. 4 children, homeschooling, running a business. Did I tell you it was in summer in Florida? Dude, hot is not even. You guys, dry heat is amazing. Humidity might kill you. Like, I remember I actually took Tammy with me to Florida, and she gets out of the airport. She goes, "What is that?" I said, "It's humidity." She was like, "Will I ever stop sweating?" I'm like, "Nope, you don't actually ever stop." Here's what I learned about this. There's a difference between the can't not and the idea. My husband asked me on a podcast, he says, "Why did you do that?" He goes, I said, "Pinterest." He goes, "That was your reason for buying that farm?" I go, "Yes. Do you want to see my Pinterest board of what a farm in Florida looked like?" I started showing him. He goes, "That's not what a farm in Florida looks like." I go, "It did on my Pinterest board." My idea board said that this is, no, I liked the idea of the goal, but I didn't want to do the hard. Do you get what I'm saying? So some of us who, once you pick a goal, the next follow-up question would be to go to the person who's achieved that goal and go, "Tell me all the hard things that it's going to require to do that." Because what you find very quickly is I asked all the farmers in Florida, "Hey, why did you buy this?" And they're like, "We love putzing, we love being dirty, we love the sand, we love the smell." I was like, no, 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 hell no. Why did I not ask these questions before I bought this? Live and learn. So this is important because I have to go, is that my time? No, I got 6 minutes. Yes, I was like, are you timing me? I almost was like, are you timing me? Okay. Okay, so it's the one you can't live without. It's not designed to make you feel good. It's designed to make you be good. And is it about the idea, or do you actually want to do the work? Because here's the deal. The magic that we're wanting is in the work that we're also avoiding. So it is going to require work, so you're going to have to back out of that and go, am I willing to do the hard work here? And if not this hard work, not that that's going to be easier, that will also have work. So I just need to find the right kind of hard. Okay, so that's your first big loaded question. The second thing I want you to identify is, what is the thing, anything, or all the things that are going to try to stop you from getting here? Notice I say try. What will try to stop you? Why is this important? Julie, am I being Debbie Downer? No, I actually think that you need to be realistic. What will actually try to stop you? My daddy issues, my past. I'm not trying to undermine these. I have my own list. What will try to stop you? The market, the shift in the economy, the president. It actually doesn't matter what president it is. They always stop us, right? The economy, David, Keller Wiliams, the gray sky, my body type. Something will try to stop you. Be real. Like, legitimately write down every and any